So, Tomas, start with your development. Where were you when you came in last year in terms of, strength, ability, in your opinion, and how much better have you gotten in the last year and a half?
Right. I think Coach Mike does a really good job when new athletes come in. Same with our nutrition staff, Haley, and they do a really good job on like having a base plan where you're at and where you need to get to, and they're just really supportive through that process. And I feel like I've gotten stronger. My body fat's better. I just feel better all around.
So you get thrown in some games this year. Just nervousness level, and then when you get to start, what's that like?
Right. Yeah, I think playing in any game, you get a little nervous because you want to perform well, obviously. And then for me, I'm a little nervous before, but after that first hit, you just lock in. You just try to do your best and try to win the game. And when I got the opportunity to start versus TCU, it was pretty much the same feeling, a little nervousness, but after that first hit, I just locked in and tried to play my best game.
Coach has mentioned early in your career your footwork, your agility was a strength. Was that one of your best attributes you feel like getting here? What other strengths did you feel like you've been able to build on?
I feel like footwork was a big strength, and that's something that we work on every single day. You can't overlook those little things because when you're playing, those are things that are either going to make that block, or if you don't have good footwork, then you could miss that block. So I just feel like that's just a big part of what we do, especially on the offensive line.
You played mainly tackle in high school, and then what was the transition to guard?
Yeah, I mainly played left tackle in high school. And in high school, since like in my league, I was one of the bigger kids. They didn't really coach me up on much. They just kind of let me play. So I was actually at left tackle in a right-handed stance. So it was a little bit of a transition to left guard, but I feel like I transitioned pretty well, and I'm enjoying it.
Was getting the stance a hard part? I mean, just using your other hand?
Right. It was a little bit, but during practice in high school, I'd play both sides, so I'd switch up my stance a little bit. But it took a little getting used to. After a week or so, I'd say I was used to it.
So when you first came in, they gave you an idea of a base plan where you were and where you needed to get to.
Right.
What was that plan? Where were you and where did you get to?
The base plan was, because coming in, I was at decent weight. I came in, my height 6'6", about 303, I believe it was. And so they just wanted me to get a little stronger, which I did, while maintaining my body fat percentage. So it was good weight. So right now I'm sitting at 6'6", about 312. So.
Is it easy or hard to compare yourself to Wyatt? Because you guys came in together, obviously now you're playing side by side. Did you see, he played right away. It's like,
Right.
why am I not playing right away? What was your thought there?
Well, I feel like growing up, every player here has started, and just coming in, I had a talk with Coach Moore, and he just sat me down. He said, "You're going to be a good player," and he said he had a plan for me, and I fully went on that plan. I just kept working hard, even if it was a second or third string. I was just doing what I would do every single day, and I finally got that opportunity to play.
Not everybody has that attitude coming to college, like you said. People are used to being
Right.
standouts. What in your background, your personality, allowed you to take that coaching, do that, and say, I've just got to grind at this?
Yeah, I feel like my background growing up, I have pretty tough parents, and I'm grateful for that. I just feel like they put that work ethic into me, just like no matter what happens, just head down, keep working, you'll get there.
Tomas, recruiting was kind of weird for you that 1 year because of the pandemic, right?
Right.
If I remember, you were a pretty popular track recruit for shot put, right?
Yes.
How much of an option was that for you?
For discus and shot put, not many colleges talked to me because we didn't have that 2020 season. So after that 2020 season where colleges would have talked to me, I verbally committed my senior year going into the football year, so colleges didn't really reach out to me after I verbally committed.
Is there a what if in your head? I'm sure you don't regret anything, but I mean, to be that involved in that sport for a while and not scratch that itch, I wonder sometimes if you can't help but think about it.
So I don't really think about it, but sometimes I'll just like find myself, because while I was playing, like on Instagram, I'd be watching videos and stuff about like other throwers, just working on my technique. Sometimes I still come across those videos, but I can't say I miss it too much because I feel like football is the best sport on earth. So.
Did you think about it at all? I mean, even if it was a second sport, I mean, just you were state runner-up, I think, and
Yep.
and did pretty well. Like, would that have been something you would have pursued?
It's something that I definitely thought about then, but overall, I think football just was the better option. I feel like it would give me better connections later on down the road.
Have you picked up a shot or a discus since you won the state?
No, I have
state
not
title?
picked it up. No, I left it there at the state meet.
How far is it still football?
Football, I'd say at least 50 yards. Yeah.
What's the difference personally in a individual sport as compared to a team sport?
I feel like the main difference is in an individual sport, you're just trying to like work on how you can get better. You're not really, because some people think that track and field is only like a individual sport, but they do add up like the points from all the different athletes and events for a team score. But I feel like, especially with track and field, you're really just thinking about yourself. And I feel like with football, yes, you have to think about yourself and like work on what you can do to get better. But when you're working on what you can do to get better, it's also going to affect the team. So when you get better, hopefully the team will get better. So it's just a big team effort for football.
Take me through your recruitment, I mean, outside of track, just with football. Obviously, it was a weird COVID year.
Right.
Visits were probably limited, but who else? Why West Virginia, and how difficult was it to sort of decide without all the visits a normal recruit would get?
I was fortunate enough because I actually came to West Virginia it was during a football camp, and I got the opportunity to come to a game. So going into it, West Virginia was my number one pick, just because I was here twice. I just loved everything about it, really, like the atmosphere, the fans, everything.
Has there been any difference in blocking for different quarterbacks since you've become the starter?
No, I don't. Whoever, it could be anybody back there. It could be JT, Garrett, Nico, or even Goose. I can speak for myself and probably the whole line. We're all just going to do our job. We're going to try and win the game. We're going to block the same.
So your name is unique. How often is it mispronounced?
It's mispronounced quite often. Some people say, well, there's no H, so it's just like Toe and Moss. Some people say Thomas. Some people say like Tumis. So I just kind of, sometimes I'll let it slide, but sometimes I'll just correct them if I feel like it.
Is it at all difficult to have to block for a different style of quarterback mid-game? When Garrett came in for JT and then kind of waffled back and then he kind of took over, is that at all difficult mid-game rather than preparing in the week?
No, I don't think it's difficult because during practice we block for both quarterbacks, so I feel like we just have a feel for it and we just play the game.
Tommy, let me go back to this. The team and individual, also sports themselves. I mean, when you're throwing a shot or, putting a shot or throwing a discus, there's a build-up in your head. There's so many football plays. I mean, how different is the effort that goes, the mental effort that goes into that?
I think there's a lot more mental effort with football because in the discus and the shot put, say you throw once, say it's a warm-up throw, right? You can like take a step back, say your coach is filming it, you can like really break it down and you can say, oh, what can I work on? For football, I think it's really just a feel, and you can't like focus on one thing too long. You just gotta be like a goldfish, 10-second memory, next play. Even if it's a good play or a bad play, you just gotta keep playing. Yeah.
Anything else?
A little bit of more on the footwork thing, footwork from discus and shot. People don't look at that, think it's just all strength, but a lot of technique there too.
Right.
That help you offensive line a little bit?
I feel like that does help you a little bit, just being like quicker on your feet and like, because with discus and shot put, there's like a certain way your feet need to be, and I feel like that really like can translate to football with where your feet have to be and where they have to be to do a certain like block or technique.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys.